Hello, Rohit from India. Nice to hear you, to read you. Raymond, hold on. Are you the one who sent me your Twitter handle last stream? rraymond54321. Hello Pyjama. Hello Bullwinkle. Hello Michael Gold. Hello Slim Shady. No. Let's get started. Hello everyone. Hallo Manuel, ja, es geht mir gut. I didn't really prepare again, nothing. I just wanna repeat one thing and actually tell you a brilliant story. We found a new villain. He who must not be named. XRP. No one is talking about it in those huge institutions. IMF, World Bank, BIS, central banks. He who must not be named. XRP. The new villain. And something else I wanted to repeat. I told it in the past streams, I think, over and over again. Please, people, do not forget RippleNet can connect to whole RTGS systems like NPP in Australia. I'm almost 100% sure they're connected there. I'm pretty sure that the European system will be connected, if it's not connected already, and other country-based real-time gross settlement systems will follow. Yeah. So, up to questions from your side. What basically, let me tell you, I will change the modus operandi a little bit. I think I owe my German-speaking followers a little bit more of my time, and that's the reason why I will continue with the Tuesdays live stream in English. But the Thursday live stream from now on will be in German. For those ones who do not speak very well English, okay? So if you have friends or family who would like to participate in German, let them know. Thursday, Donnerstag, 20 Uhr, 8 Uhr am Abend. That's the German live stream from starting this week. Pyjama made another interesting comment. There has been quite a discussion going on today between Galgitron and some people on Twitter regarding how the price will increase, and I basically told my wife, and even she understood it. We have basically two theories, okay? Galgitrons with a slow price increase. So far in the past 6 months, we had only seen a slow price decrease, not increase. So we can assume his theory is false. The other theory is a fast and steep price increase. It's Shane Ellis, basically the model of Shane Ellis. Now, I mean, Shane Ellis could still be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it isn't, because according to Galgatron's theory, also based on his analysis, he posts like once a week or so what he thinks are remittances and stuff. I mean, we don't see a price increase. So basically, his theory, I think, is kind of flawed. Now, let me get to the questions. XRP Pyjama. Do you think Shane Ellis' theory could come into effect after the expiration of all XRP future contracts? I don't think future contracts have anything to do with Shane Ellis. Veteran UK tribe. There is thousands of private ledgers. Your bank, my bank, his bank, every bank has a private ledger, but there is no XRP private ledger. And that's the whole point. End of discussion. I really don't want to go into that again, just because guest one or Freedom whatever started that discussion. That's plain stupid. Michael Gold, I just told it. Every bank has a private ledger, but it's not a private XRP ledger. Forget about that. Watch my videos where I basically explain it. It's not possible. It's basically against the very foundations of what DLT is. Trust. It won't work. When moon? I really don't know. I think in the next 6 weeks. That's my thinking, but please don't take me serious on that. I think SBI will play its role in that whole liquidity thing worldwide. I could imagine that they let SBI run for, I don't know, some time, so that the Japanese retail investors can get into XRP at still lower prices, but the price may already increase to lower single-digit dollar values. I mean, we're talking about a potential 23 million customers. If just 10% of them buy XRP, that'll be currently we have about 1600 XRP wallet addresses on the ledger. We can assume that many people on eToro as example, don't have a wallet, so there might come another 500,000. But when those guys from SBI come along, we can assume that the amount of XRP wallets, that this will be something quite interesting to see. But I'm assuming there will be quite a drastic increase there. Testball, yes, 30%, but I'm more looking like 30% every hour or so. Every month is a bit. I mean, there was a tweet from so I think, I don't remember his name, but one guy promoted digital asset investor. His I think 50 subscribers short of 50,000. And there was a comment from a guy, 50,000 people waiting for XRP to get to 50 cents. And I answered to that guy, I have 2,000 followers, but we have slightly different ambitions in the price increase than 50 cents. David C, send friend. I mean, I'm pretty sure the remittances, like whomever signed up and is productively using XRapid from those remittance companies, I'm pretty sure they're using XRapid already, but the volume will only slightly increase. I don't really expect send friends to make a huge difference. Ben writes, price based on speculation manipulation will continue like it has been the past 18 months. Really, we're just waiting for utility to kick in. Slim Shady, many, like half of the XRP community thinks regulation is required. I stated it over and over again. RippleNet X current ILP is infrastructure. Infrastructure doesn't require regulation. Maybe that in the future ILP connectors may require certain regulation in order to be able to prove that they offer consistent and fair currency exchange rates. That might be, but I don't think we're waiting for regulation. The proof could be that price starts rising until all those worldwide regulation thingies start to happen. Now, liquidity will not affect the price. Basically, price will affect liquidity. The higher the price, the higher the liquidity. It's that way around and not the other way around. If I have to rethink my theory, if not, nothing much happens to price in this year. No, I don't think so. Because that would still prove Galgatron's slow increase to be wrong, which still leaves the other theory of a high, steep and fast increase as the only... I mean, there's only slow and steady or fast and steep. There is something in between maybe, but even the in between we didn't see. So I still think that the high and steep rise will happen. Maybe the timing is still wrong. I really don't think so. I told that in other maybe live streams as well. I mentioned it, and in videos. I made a video about how institutions usually calculate their projects. They apply certain KPIs to their investment, to their budget and everything, and usually they want to see a return in like 2-3 years at least. Doesn't mean that they need to have a positive return after 2 or 3 years, so that the cost they had is already written off, but at least some money needs to be, some savings or more winnings need to come back. And the longer we wait, the longer that doesn't happen. Hold on, there was another question regarding SEC. That's basically part of this regulation. I really don't think that SEC has anything to do with price increase. We're at the cusp. Raymond Scott, you nailed it. Back at work. Yes, today was my first day at work. Let's see how it'll work out. Can't XRP break from Bitcoin? Because Julian Balatoni, I'm assuming you're Italian, he's asking why XRP cannot break free from Bitcoin. Actually it can, but only very few times. But just recently, I don't remember, in the past few days we had a quite unique increase in XRP price, and all the others were kind of holding steady. And that will happen, like this break free will happen once we have utility. Hi Ian, that's a first from you. I don't remember having seen you. Ian or Ian, I don't know nothing. How is it pronounced? Ripple are securing multi-channels once ready to release. George, exactly. Do you believe when the price reached 20 through? Jerome Fox, go to Ledger Exposed and check the rich list stats. Like 10,000, maybe 12,000 wallets, XRP wallets, have more than 100,000 XRP. Like literally the huge part of XRP wallet addresses has, I think, less than 20,000 XRP. Those guys will be, 90% of those guys will be gone at $5 already. They have no clue what's going to come. Gio, no, my year-end prediction hasn't changed. And if so, rather in the opposite direction, more up than down. Butterfly Trader, no, I have no news how Ripple takes over Swift business, but as I said, Ripple can be actually there was one tweet today, I don't remember, it was about Swift using Corda Settler, and kind of the main message was that it's basically integrated already. That's how I understood it. And we all know Corda Settler may use XRP. However, also for those payments going through the Corda Settler and Swift thing, that won't be RippleNet, but it will be XRP. But also these payments, and rest assured, those payments will be big payments, million to 50 million to 500 million payments. Those require a high XRP price as well. English to me, that's an interesting analogy, that the human evolution was not all at once or slow and steady. It happened in spurts onto plateaus. That's basically what I'm kind of expecting. I could imagine, it's just what I think it may happen, that they release SPI, we start rising to, I don't know, $1, $2, maybe $3, comes in FOMO, it goes up to, I don't know, $10 maybe, then they start to push it a little bit, maybe to $50, and then to 200, 500,000, something like that. That's something I could imagine. Hey Monty, the world is very ready for it. He who must not be named, XRP, the new villain in the place. I mean, about the last 2-3 weeks, there have been several people tweeting on Twitter, obviously, that it's very interesting that none of those big influential institutions, IMF, World Bank, BIS, not any of the central bankers, not any of the banker, CEO of or financial CFO from any bank, any interview you hear, not once you will hear XRP. It's like they have a seal on their lips. David C. might be the reason why we may see plateaus, but in the end I think it doesn't matter. And I showed the reason. I mean, David, let me find the comment again. David C is asking if the elites doesn't want to become us retail investors rich. Maybe, but in the overall picture, it's literally a drop on the hot stone. There won't be so much wealth movement. There will be, for sure, but not so much. And the reason for that is the banks themselves, they will save billions. My calculation is that all the banks together throughout the year spend about 200 billions to maintain the Nostro account. And if you can liquefy that, and the banks will have 200 billions more liquidity to give credits to companies wanting to start their business in the countries, that will spur the economy incredibly. The whole world will profit from that, and they know that totally. How did you come up with your iPinky Twitter handle? That's an interesting question, Ben. First time at that time it wasn't even called internet, it was called, I think, DARPANET, and there was another net which basically connected the universities and the big IT companies, like IBM was part, Dell, DEC, the DEC. And when I was studying at that time at the university, there was a chat system. I think it was called IRC chat. You basically just could type. Later on you could also send images and whatever, pictures and stuff. And they had like channels, lots of channels. And then you could join a channel and you gave yourself a nickname. But I figured pretty quickly that most of those people in those chat channels just wanted to flirt with you. Basically, like the first or second question was usually, are you a woman or a man? Or something like that. And if you told you're a man, like 90% lost the interest in you, and there was no communication going on. That's what I figured. And then at that time I was a big fan of Pink Floyd, and then I thought I'd like to choose a nickname which is rather neutral, neither female nor male, so I became Pinky. And up came internet, and in many forums on the internet you had to register, and Pinky was always already chosen. Then came the iMac from Apple, and I became Pinky. That's basically the story behind my Twitter handle. Geo SBI is expected to go live in July. However, we don't know if it's early or late July. That's really one of our longer months. Slim Shady, that's interesting. Have you seen my I put out the chart from this year's performance on Twitter. I think on top, I think it was BNB, Binance Coin, then Litecoin. And I also had a graph from Bitcoin, I think, ADA, Ethereum, XRP obviously, and XLM, maybe something else, I don't remember. But the worst performance year to date was XLM, I think about less than 10% or so, and at about 13% it was XRP on second place, as a second worst place, and I think Litecoin made 250% this year to date. However, as you all know, I'm a defender of this steep and fast price increase of Shane Ellis. Let's assume you have 50% in Litecoin and you made 250% profit this year, and you have 50% in XRP, and in 2 weeks XRP boosts 100,000%. So basically with the 50% in Litecoin you lost 100,000%. You made up to now 250%, but you will not participate the 100,000%. That's why I basically don't diversify my scenario. But I always say XRP is unprecedented. Butterfly Trader, the argument is basically he cannot tell because he's a banker. I don't know. He thinks he knows more. If he does, I really don't know. RMB from Vienna, yes, I think SBI will happen in the next weeks. Hold on, I need to make this a little bit bigger. Hello, regarding the Dark Knight. No, I don't think that XRP. I mean, even SEC doesn't ever mention XRP, the new villain in town. XRP, he who must not be named. I mean, the whole fucking world was waiting 18 months now for a clear decision of SEC if or not it's a security or not, and they just don't bother talking about it. Why? That's so weird. Whenever you hear any of those institutions talking about blockchain, they never ever talk about Ripple or XRP. This is really weird, when basically everyone knows that's the one we're talking about. Which other coin? Okay, maybe XLM, but even XLM you don't hear, never. Geo XRP, I don't think about that possibility that we are not at $10 at the end of the year. Billions. Ian, nothing is right. Dylan Smart, if price didn't shoot yet once SBI launches, then I think we see something rather similar to the bull run end of 2017, like 50% in a day or so, throughout 2 weeks or so. Yes, I had a contact with David Schwartz on Twitter, user 77836. It's not the first time he answered to me. My question was regarding, actually there was a thread going on regarding decentralization, and David added that Ripple is trying to add more validator nodes and increase the decentralization. My question to him was, will more nodes eventually not slow down the system? Let me give you an example. If it's just me and you sitting in a room and we're deciding to go for lunch, we can have that agreement in about one question. Are we going now? You say no in 5 minutes. I say okay, or let's make it 10, and you say okay, done deal. But if you're like 20 people in the room, it may take 10 minutes to decide when and where we will go for lunch. And the same is basically taking place on the XRP ledger. However, on XRP ledger it's not that complicated, because the only thing they need to agree is the sequence of the transactions coming in. So it's rather an easy task. But anyway, if there is like 1,000 nodes worldwide available who have to do that, those 1,000 nodes need to receive those informations, which transactions are to be sequenced properly, and then basically agree on the next ledger to be closed. And then the answer from David was yes, increasing the validator nodes by factor 10. I don't know the exact number. Let's assume we have now 100 validators, and if there's 1,000 validators, the transaction time will roughly reduce by 1 second. But he also said that this would not really affect the throughput, and maybe he was thinking about Cobalt somehow. Now let me catch up with the questions. How I discovered XRP. Well, basically people in my office started talking about Bitcoin and Ethereum, and for me it was like a total no-go. I thought, crazy, why would I need digital money? I'm totally happy. But then after about 2 months of listening to them, I thought, okay, at least I want to be able to participate in the discussion with them. So I did a research on what blockchain is about, and I figured there's sites which lists the coins and projects and stuff, and then I went into the, I think, 20 biggest projects at that time and looked around what they're trying to achieve. And basically XRP and IOTA were the only ones which caught my eye. IOTA, still, the idea of IOTA, I still think it's absolutely fantastic. However, I restrained from investing into IOTA because I think they still have security issues. They issued a new white paper on how they think they will be able to resolve this problem, but if they will achieve that, that's still in the stars. So IOTA, maybe some, but there I don't really see the price going to the thousands, because micropayments, Internet of Things doesn't, I mean, I don't know how many IOTAs, if they are so called, out there, or if each validation creates, I don't know totally about the technical details about IOTA, but I think they will be still fine even at low price. That's how I remember having done that. Let me get back to the questions. Yes, this implementation from ISO 222 didn't show any effect yet. However, it's like a preparation of the rails. I think that's really also important in terms of Internet of Value for that to happen. Bullwing 6 check, yes, the TCC will be delayed maybe, but that may push the whole thing. But I'm actually favoring the theory I created, actually also together with Darren Moore, that maybe the market makers will be the banks from the CLS, I think, Continuous Link Settlement, or Settlement Link, CSL. I always confuse it, but I think you know what I'm talking about. It's about 60 banks which basically provide liquidity for the SWIFT system today, and once they go live on RippleNet or XRP, that'll boost the whole thing, because then you can expect that also the foreign exchange trade systems will be handled on XRP, and that's like just that, it's about 5 trillions a day. XRP Pyjama, yes, I understand your comment regarding the future contracts and stuff, but anyway, I don't think that the liquidity is related to that at all. I really don't. Those future contracts may be used by the banks to do some hedging against price drops and stuff. That's for sure that's basically what future contracts have been invented for, to hedge your risk. But basically, I don't know if you guys understand how banks hedge their risks. They basically try to keep their risks low, but by doing that, they also give up a certain amount of profitability. Basically, a car insurance is a risk hedging thing. You pay $1,000 for your car insurance every year. Once you make a crash or someone crashes into you, you know the insurance will pay for the stuff which needs to be repaired. Okay. Now, if you're a safe driver and you never have an accident, you pay $1,000 every year. So after 10 years, you could almost buy half a new car for that money. Okay, so you basically pay for something which never happened. However, if you don't pay and you make a bad accident, then you need to repair for $5,000, some whatever, I don't know. Then you're pissed because you need to pay those $5,000 immediately, and think about it, that happened 2 months later again, and you need to pay again $5,000. So that's what banks are doing with their future contracts and stuff. It's just a de-risking thing. It's quite complicated, but if you're interested, actually I think I have a video somewhere talk about risk hedging the risking with future contracts. I've seen a video once on YouTube where a guy pretty easily explained it in the terms of corn, that basically the buyer and the seller of corn define early in advance already what they will be able or what they will pay and receive as money per whatever ton or kilogram of corn, whatever. And then if the actual crop is being harvested and there is more or less, the price will have a difference. And then they can either get out or use it, but basically the difference between the reality and what they have defined will be like halved. That's the hedging part of it. I mean, it's just de-risking. I really don't see that having a price on an effect on price anyway. Let me catch up with the questions. It scrolls so bad. Gio, no, I didn't collaborate with Shane Ellis, but I was maybe one of his most contacted person. I actually spoke to him on direct messages on Twitter. I mean, he realized that I have assembled all his answers to all those questions. It's like a 13 pages long document, and he was really nice person to talk to. Leonard Lenny. That's great. He tells SBI goes live 1st on July. That'll be great. RMB, let me think about that. Maybe next week. I can have you again on the German live stream on Thursday. I would love to know how many of your followers really believe to get. Well, I mean, I can make a video and see how many views we get and ask them to confirm. Michael Gold, no, I cannot talk about that Ripple patent. Actually, it's a patent from Bob Way, not from Ripple. I didn't follow that one. I think it's not important. If there had been such a patent, really, I think that'll be one more proof of the Shane Ellis theory, even if it's not exactly the way Shane Ellis tells, but at least it will be high and steep and fast price rises. Kevin Rampersep, market cap. People arguing with market cap have actually no clue about what market cap really is. Just leave it at that. Usually they lose all credibility once they come with that argument. I really don't want to talk with them anymore about why or how or not or whatever. Some crypto may reach whatever figure. It's just useless. Well, RMB ISO implementation, I think it's the same because it's basically a standard. It's like ILP. It's like a protocol. basically. And I think the Big Bang migration in the European area regarding ISO 2220 or 222 is, I think, 1st November 2021. However, they urge to be early adopters. I think that the migration yesterday on target services was not really related to ISO, but after all, it doesn't really matter. Slim Shady, yes, I think there is some communication about when the switch will be flipped. John Miranda, thanks for your confirmation that those remittances being able to send money to the Philippines are way faster and cheaper than Western Union. That's that word you really need to spread. Kevin Ramper said, I mean, with Global Coin you're referring to this unified settlement coin or other initiatives. I really don't think there will be a global coin. It's XRP, really. I'm pretty sure. Julian Balatoni, backed Fidelity, that's just speculative money. That will drive the price up because they will need to hold XRP, but it will not be hundreds of thousands of percent. It will be maybe hundreds, maybe thousands of percent, but not hundreds, thousands of percent. George X-Pool, that's an open, how do you call it? Secret, basically, or a close secret. No one really knows what X-Pool is about. There's many theories. Ian Northing tells that X-Pool is basically liquidity. One theory says that X-Pool may be the way for liquidating the nostros around the world, because somehow that money has to come back. Maybe that's what X-Pool is for. Others believe X-Pool may be a pool of liquidity where market or liquidity providers can draw from. Could be. I mean, I have literally no evidence for that, but let's assume we have 10 preferred X rapid exchanges, and each of those exchanges have 100 million XRP. Now on one of those exchanges, XRP runs out. We only have, I don't know, 50,000. Maybe they are contractually they can contractually receive from one of the other 9 an additional 50 million XRP to be liquid again. If the other exchanges have a less busy day, could be something like that. I really don't know. Just my thinking. Toretit, everyone will use XRP. My good friend Jack the Rippler told it. Now not so much anymore, but in last year he added that boom, and everyone will use XRP in almost all his tweets. And I'm maybe not 100%, but I'm pretty sure in 5 years time from now, when Internet of Value is not any longer just a vision but a reality, I'm pretty sure about 80 to 90, maybe 95% of all cross-border payments will affect or touch XRP in one or another way. Because literally, I mean, that also goes along with remember when I told that you may have to think about an exit strategy once XRP shoots. Maybe there is coming an XRP on steroids along. And I've been discussing that with Lars from Bremen in the German interview. And one thing what Ripple is doing, they're sponsoring about 20 universities worldwide. So if there is a new freaking good idea coming out of those universities to make transactions on whatever blockchain even faster, you can rest assured Ripple will be the first company to incorporate that new methodology or approach into XRP. After all, XRP is just software, and the software can be upgraded. Once Cobalt is being launched, we also have a faster and more reliant XRP network, and that's how it'll work. So basically no exit strategy required. And yeah, Kevin Rampersand, IMF will not hold XRP, but what I can think of is if they have to pay, I don't know, Greece or whatever other country billions of their currency, that in that transaction, because it'll be a cross-border transaction, XRP will play a role. I mean, today, how will IMF pay a country billions in dollars? They need to have those nostros as well, which is freaking expensive. And with XRP, that's not required anymore. They can just send it. XRP Pyjama, please tweet that. I mean, that Shane Ellis theory matched Miguel Villa's function at Ripple. I mean, Miguel Villas is most likely the most underestimated important character in the whole Ripple team. And I have seen many videos, older videos, where he was talking. He's such a nice guy. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. Slim Shady, I don't think that Ripple, they're trying to press it to suppress it right now. But once utility sets in, that won't be possible anymore, because there will be so much traffic on the XRP ledger. Kevin Rampersand, countries making their own digital currencies will work, but it will still require a bridge. And as a matter of fact, I mean, basically, even today, I'm feeling like I'm having digital currency. I have hardly any cash on me. Literally the only cash I use is for parking lots, because they're the newer ones, the bigger ones, I usually can pay with credit card today as well. But the smaller ones, where you have this this metal thing where you need to throw coins in, That's basically the reason why I still have cash. And at work, I need to load my badge to get food in the canteen with paper money. That's the only two reasons I still have cash. Everything else I pay by card. But for me, the difference between, be it a Swiss like franc as we have it today, or a digital Swiss franc, for me it'll be still worth the same. It wouldn't change anything for me. The only difference is that the model of the money distribution between banks and central banks will change. And actually, one of those videos, I think it was even the video at the Swiss National Bank, they had two sessions. not the second session with Brad Garlinghouse, but the first session. In that session they have been talking about the central bank digital currencies, and if you're interested in that, please watch that video. It's really interesting to, I mean, I have heard those thoughts before already, but it kind of reconfirmed that central bank digital currencies will rise new, I mean, the way they need to handle liquidity within a country will totally change. Emonti, you're right. Dylan Smart, if Shane Ellis doesn't work, we can rise slowly to thousands, but it'll take decades. Sahar Sound, never ever tell anyone how many XRP you have. You may be at risk depending on in which country you are. Never ever, ever, Sahar. Never ever tell anyone how many XRP you have. Okay, let's closely get to a finish here. Let me check the last questions. My wife didn't show up. Did I miss her? Did someone see my wife? Usually she sends a hello my love or something. Let me scroll back up. I received a heart from Ian and a tulip from XRP Heart. No, she didn't show up today. Maybe she's tired. I think Cobalt will be this year. Kevin Ramper said, well, that's basically the last question I'm going to answer, and then we will close the live stream for today. Kevin is asking me about diversifying once XRP moons. That's actually a good question. In like 3 months before, I told that once it moons, that you may need to have an exit strategy. Also, due to other reasons, that there might come an XRP on steroids along. However, in the meantime, after that interview with Lars from Bremen, that opinion has changed. I was talking about that before. That XRP after all is just software. So in those respects, I don't think there will be a requirement to diversify at all. However, I mean, let's assume it's really just hypothetical, okay? Let's assume I'm making 10 million. 3 million I need to be able to retire. 1 million we will give away to friends and family. 1 million we will spend on fun stuff, nice vacation, whatever. Maybe 3 million or so on a really nice house. And maybe the rest, if there is still rest in those 10 millions, I may take 30% out or so to diversify, just to make sure I have a kind of a guaranteed annual return. Those 3 millions I need for retirement. The calculation I made there is 30 years more of life expectancy for me, and $100,000 per year I would want to have until the end of my life, even though in the last 10 years I may not need that much anymore. But the interest how is it called? Interest on interest. There is a term for it, like compound interest, I think it's called. Will make it such that I could use less than 3 millions, maybe 2.5 million or 2 million, maybe already good enough if I make 10% profit on the money I do not need. So in that respect, maybe diversification may make some sense. However, I told it to many people, I don't know if I told it in my live streams, if you think you will be making freaking amount of money with other coins, Kevin, I believe you won't. There is, besides this payment use case as a bridge asset, I literally see not one single other use case where I would pay for a digital asset or a token $1,000, be it healthcare blockchain, be it food supply chain blockchain, be it educational records blockchain, be it whatever other thing like property, whom owes which property and stuff. I wouldn't want to pay for that. That's for me standard. The industry behind it has to offer that. I really don't see why I as a consumer should need to pay for that. That's just like the basic standard I would expect from the industry. And that's basically also, and there was a guy asking me how I came to XRP, and I told that I investigated in the 20 biggest cryptos, and on XRP I got stuck. On all the others, I think the use case is maybe fantastic. I just don't see a coin on that chain having a huge price. Don't get me wrong. I don't say other blockchains are stupid. I really see high potential on other blockchain use cases as well. But I don't see high prices on coins on other blockchains as well. So that's the differentiation. Many people don't differentiate between the coin on a blockchain and what it's actually used for. Okay, and I think that's really important to understand. The XRP coin itself is the use case. The coin on Ethereum, I really don't know. I mean, why would I pay for a smart contract? On a blockchain for health record or educational record, there is really no reason to have a coin there. It can just be a blockchain. It doesn't even need to, without the coin, it doesn't even need to be listed on exchanges. It can just run on value. You won't even know about it. I hope with that I answered the most important questions. Lane Adleni, please add the link to this SBI going live on 1st of July once the video is available on YouTube. I will put some links regarding RippleNet can be connected to whole RTGS, real-time gross settlement systems, and if I find that educational movie about risk hedging and de-risking with future contracts and stuff, I will put that in the description of today's live stream. And with that, I want to thank everyone for your, again, high participation. Can anyone tell me how many people have been watching live, roughly, before we cut off here? 91. That's not too bad. Thanks a lot. Enjoy your evening, enjoy your day, sleep well. Here it was raining almost all day long. My lawn is growing quite nicely. See you next Tuesday for the English live stream, or this Thursday at 8 o'clock for a German live stream. Take care.